Welcome to Live to Lead, a program that is designed to help you and me to live lives of influence and impact. And this is with compliments from Bishop N.D. Nklapo. And I'm Dr. John Tibane. I'm so excited to be sharing some thoughts with you today on this program. And once again, we are doing this to inspire you, to enlighten you, to enable you, to encourage you to live lives of a life of influence and impact. We had a series before that dealt with managing a crisis. As you know, that in life we do go through crisis, and you need to be able to manage the crisis so you can survive it. But this particular series that we are starting today, it has got 7 parts. It has to do with thriving in the new normal. And for you to be able to thrive in the new normal, there is a resetting. You need to reset. You need to reset some things that get disrupted by a crisis. And after the crisis, you have now bounced forward into the new normal, and you find yourself in the new place, in the new world, in the new normal. You need to adjust, you need to reset for the new normal. And in this series with 7 parts, there are 7 because there are 7 things that you must reset, and we call them the reset elements. And today we start with the first one. It's reset to reset your sanity. So this is resetting to thrive in the new normal, part 1, and we reset your sanity. In these 7 parts that we are going to be resetting, we will be reading a common verse. We will be reading a common verse in the Bible. So this particular verse is going to be recurring throughout. So let's go now to that verse. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. And this time we picking up from the New Living Translation. The New Living Translation. And it says, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. A prudent person foresees danger. In the King James Version, it talks about foresees evil and takes precautions. That is a prudent one. That is a wise one. That is a thinking person. He foresees trouble. He foresees the new normal. He foresees the new world. And he sees that it is dangerous. And what makes it dangerous is not just because of danger for the sake of using the word danger, but what it means is that we are not used to it. It's an unfamiliar territory. We have not been prepared for it. We have not been ready for that new world. So that's what makes it dangerous. The new normal in itself is actually not dangerous at all. But what makes it evil, what makes it dangerous, is because it's an unfamiliar territory. We have been trained to thrive in the old normal. But you see, the old normal is no longer there. The crisis came to obliterate and disrupt the old normal, and now the crisis has given us a new normal. What makes it dangerous is because we haven't been prepared for it. It is new to all of us. So we need to take precautions. We must reset ourselves for it. So a prudent man foresees the new normal, the new world that is not prepared for, and he calls it dangerous. And what does he do? He takes precautions. He does what needs to be done. He does what needs to be done. In the King James Version, it says he hides himself. The hiding there is not really running away, but you're saying you protect yourself from the challenges of the unfamiliar territory. But then the simple or the simpleton or the one who does not think or the foolish one, they go on blindly. And in the King James Version, it says, and they are punished. But in the New Living Translation, it says, because they go blindly, they suffer the consequences. Now, I don't want you and me to suffer the consequences of getting into the new normal without resetting, without taking precautions. And there are 7 things that needs to be reset. And we are going to deal with the first one today, but there are 7 things that must be reset. You need to reset your sanity. You need to reset your sight. You need to reset your stage. You need to reset your sales. You need to reset your standards. You need to reset your scales. And you need to reset your sight, your sound. But then the first one we are going to be dealing with today, and I'm sure they can show it on the screen now quickly, we need to reset your sanity. Reset your sanity. That is resetting to thrive in the new normal part 1. Reset your sanity. Watch this. Every crisis that comes, it comes and disturbs the way we think. So that is why I've put a statement there that thinking is an ancestor of every action. In other words, there can be no action without thinking. And because that is the case, it means that the quality of our actions will always be determined by the quality of our thoughts. And we are going to be dealing here with the issue of how do you reset your sanity. And this is important because the sanity is the realm of philosophy, your premise, your reason, your dissertation, your thesis, your theory. Basically, what is your mindset? So what we are talking about here, my friend and my fellow leader, my colleague, is that when a crisis strikes, people lose their minds. They lose their minds. Crisis can be so harsh that you lose your mind. After the crisis, as you get into the new normal, resetting your sanity really means that you need to work on your mind, because you can't get into the new thing with a messed up mind. Let me make an example. Here is a lady and a man. They are in a relationship. Maybe it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They are in a relationship. And they get into a crisis of some kind because the lady discovered something she hates, which the man has done. Maybe she saw something on the cell phone and she became mad. So mad that she takes a nopkiri and hits and smash the boyfriend's car. Let's say the windscreen of the boyfriend's car. Now you ask yourself a question, how can you do such a thing? She had lost her mind. Because crisis can make people to lose their mind. Well, that has happened. Imagine now they are reconciling. They want to walk again together. The message here is that now they are in the new normal. After the remorse, after the crisis, after going through that rough patch, now they are in the new normal. I am saying to you, she can't get into the new normal being insane. And maybe the man also was insane. In fact, perhaps what he actually did was insanity. Now that they are getting into a new normal, they cannot bring the old messed up mind into the new normal. They need to reset. They need to reset. The COVID-19 pandemic And not only just the pandemic, but it could be anything else, whether it is divorce that you went through, or it is retrenchment, or economic recession, or whatever it is. It probably has caused you to lose your mind. In one way or the other, you became insane. Your philosophy got messed up. Maybe your theory of change is not okay. Maybe your thesis or your premise from which you do business, the reason behind the way you do things has been affected. I am saying for you to thrive in the new normal, you need to reset your sanity. Crisis sometimes gives us an opportunity to rethink our philosophy, to rethink our approach to life, to rethink our theory of change or theory of progress, to rethink our dissertation, to even rethink our theology. Yes, to rethink our strategy, to rethink our approach to business. Sometimes we even get into trouble because of our philosophy, because of the way we think. Maybe it is the way we've been thinking that brought you into trouble, that made you to lose money. Or it is a crisis that you didn't have control over as a person, like the COVID-19 pandemic. But it could be that you haven't been thinking properly. That is why you made lots of mistakes that brought you into trouble. Or you have been thinking, okay, but an uncontrollable radical change like COVID-19 came, and it is the one that made you to lose your mind, like this lady who lost her mind because the man did something. So it's not her, it's the man who did something, and that made her to lose her mind. So there are two things here. It's either you have been erroneous in the way you have been thinking, not because of anything that happened, but you were just not thinking right. Your thought patterns have been erroneous and neurotic. Or the other thing is that you might have been okay, but something so uncontrollable came and it disturbed your thinking. It doesn't matter which way, your mind hasn't been okay. But I am saying, if you want to thrive in the new normal, you must reset. Reset your sanity. Rethink your philosophy. Rethink your reasoning. Rethink your premise. Rethink your thesis. Rethink your dissertation. Reset your mind. We call it mindset. A mindset, it's a mind that is set on something. So what are you going to set your mind on now in the new normal? Are you setting your mind on business? Are you setting your mind on customer centricism? Are you setting your mind on embracing diversity? Are you setting your mind on inclusion? Are you setting your mind on high performance? Are you setting your mind on peace? Are you setting your mind on justice? What are you setting your mind on this time? Reset your mind. And there may be a number of areas where you need to set your mind on. It is a decision you need to be making now. We are getting into the new normal. It is no longer going to be business as usual. It's a new world. I am resetting my mind. It's a new world. It's not the old world. So I will no longer conform to the old world, but I will renew my mind. I will reset my mind so I may know what is required in the new world. I may know what is required in the new normal. There are new challenges, there are new needs, there are new expectations, there are new standards, there are new regulations, there are new rules of the game. I must reset my mind. Maybe my mind was okay for the old normal, but now there is a new normal that requires a new mind, the renewing of the mind. That's what we mean by resetting your sanity. Basically, we are saying, if the crisis made you insane, it is time for you to be sane again. But your sanity must be in line with what is expected of you in the new world. Be ye not conformed to the old world, but be ye transformed. Have a new form that is relevant to the new world, and you have that new form, new ways of doing business, following the renewing of your mind, so that you may know how to perceive and discern which is this good, acceptable, and perfect will of God for your life in the new world. That is part one of resetting for thriving in the new normal, and that is called Reset Your Sanity. Let's meet next time when we talk about another reset element. God bless you.